So the first thing we're going to do for the hip mobility series is release 3 different muscles. So we're going to release the TFL, that is kind of like at your front pocket. We're going to release the glute med, and we're just going to release a little bit of the deep hip rotators that have to do with us gaining or being a little bit tight so we don't have as much internal rotation, which can affect our backswing and downswing. So on the first one, you're going to put the ball kind of like right in the middle part of your butt cheek. So you'll kind of feel the head of this femur, and then you're just going to move more to the middle. We're going to find a spot, and it should feel a little ropey, and then I'm going to kind of feel like I'm kind of going over it, and you should feel those deep hip muscles. Then from there, I'm just going to pull the knee towards the opposite knee, pull the knee towards the opposite knee, so I'm getting a little bit of a pin and stretch, and I'm only going to be spending like 30 to 60 seconds on each one of these spots. Now, for the second one, is going to be more kind of up towards our waistband and more towards our side. So we just hit kind of deep hip rotators. Now we're going to work our way up and hit that. And you'll just kind of notice while doing this, you'll kind of feel like some spots are going to be a little bit stiffer than others. And those are going to be the areas that you're going to want to work more of in the future, or maybe one side more than the other. So we'll find a spot. Typically it's kind of high on the hip. Good, got it. Then from there, I'm just going to bring the knee to the chest. So again, I'm just pinning and stretching and only spending, 30, 60 seconds on an area. Then I'll go to it one more, maybe 2 more different areas. Okay, I got it. Same thing, pinning and stretching. And I'm just going to do about like 10 kind of knee tucks. And then the final spot that I'm going to do is going to be that TFL. So on the TFL, I'm going to be more, so my belly button is more facing the floor. So I'm not going to be like that. And I'm going to try to almost also, at the same time, kind of try to stack my hips on top of the ball so I get a little bit more pressure. And then once I find a spot, I'm going to bend the knee, and I can kind of windshield wiper, heel up towards the ceiling, then back towards the ground, heel up towards the ceiling, and back down towards the ground. I'll find another spot, be pretty tender, same thing, up, back down, and up, and back down. So 30 to 60 seconds on each side. So once you complete that right side, you'll go over to the left side, do the same thing. So once we get all our rolling done, then we're going to kind of do a couple stretches and activation drills in order to kind of use that range of motion that we just acquired. So the first one is going to be kind of knee pull-ins. So you're going to be on the ground. Your feet are going to be a little bit wider than hip width apart. And all I'm going to do while keeping my right butt cheek down on the ground is I'm just pulling the knee towards my midline. I should feel a stretch kind of on the side of my hip and come back. So I'm going to pull in, hold for 3, 2, and 1, and come back up. So again, as I'm bringing the knee in, I'm not bringing this up off the ground. So there, a couple holds, and pull back up. So you're going to go for 5 of those reps on each side. Now for this one, is after we gained a little bit more extra range of motion with that drill, then we're going to want to use it. So from here, we're going to be on our side. Our top leg is going to be up, kind of our knee almost like up towards our belly button. And what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of push into the ground with my back of my hand, forearm. So I should almost feel kind of like my kind of obliques kind of flex a little bit and contract. I'm going to lift and then turn my toe up towards the ceiling, and I'm going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back down, push in the floor, lift, turn, and hold 5, 4, 3, 2, and one. Come back down. I'm going to do one more of those. Breath in, up, turn, hold. So it should feel, definitely obviously feel like these adductors, inner thigh muscles working to rotate my toe up towards the ceiling. Come back down and relax. So I'm going to do 3 sets of 5 of those. So for my next exercise, we're going to do what's called a hip car, or a hip circle. So the main thing with this one is I'm trying to keep everything still minus the hip that I want to work. So I'm going to start on all 4s. I'm going to pull my heel up towards my butt, and I'm going to act as if like almost like I have marbles in the back of my knee the whole time, and I'm going to bring that heel up towards the ceiling as much as I can, and then come out almost like a dog is peeing on a fire hydrant, and come down, and then I'm going to reverse it. So dog out like a fire hydrant, then from there I'm going to bring my heel back up towards the ceiling and slow on the way back down, and then I'm going to go for one more for 2 reps. Heel back up towards the ceiling, out, and while I'm doing this, I'm just trying to keep everything still while I'm getting motion from my hip. So for the last one we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit something more towards the golf swing. So we're going to be in golf posture. From here, I'm just going to get in my backswing. So I'm just going to open up. So now I'm going to use that hip range of motion in a functional position that we want to get while in the golf swing and come back up. So I use that hip range of motion and come back down. Use that hip range of motion and then come back down. So we're going to go for 8 on one side, and then from there we're going to do the opposite on the other side for 8. All right.